Namaste and welcome to Youth TV Show Season 2. My name is Aishma. Today we have the privilege of having with us His Excellency Dan Stav, Ambassador of the State of Israel to Nepal. Ambassador Stav was born in the beautiful city of Haifa in Israel. He completed his master's and bachelor's degree from the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. After being appointed as the ambassador to Nepal in the year 2005, he has done a lot to improve and extend the bilateral relationship between the two countries. Now, let us proceed with the program.
Before I came to Nepal, I've been posted to India for 5 years. And I have never envisaged at that time that I will be spending 5 fascinating years in Nepal. I think that I'm privileged to be in one of the most interesting, fascinating, promising, and at the same way also frightening years here. Years of transitions, years that we, the representative of the international community, have been watching very carefully to see whether the developments here will lead to the final ultimate goal of establishing new Nepal that will guarantee prosperity, economic progress and peace to the people of Nepal, or, God forbid, it will go the other direction of destruction, as sadly Nepal has been witnessed during the 10 years of internal war. I'm representing a small country which is far away from here. Israel has no vested interest as such in Nepal. There is no common strategic interest, there is no common geographical boundaries, but we have something more important than that, and this is a genuine friendship between the countries, friendship that was established 50 years ago by a very bold and visionary leader of Nepal, B.P. Koirala. Despite the geographical distance, despite the various obstacles, Israel and Nepal has been able to develop a very close relations based on the concept of whatever cooperation can be established for the benefit of both sides will be established. When I arrived in 2005, it was the last months of the monarchy in Nepal. And we made it a point that for us, any decision by the Nepali people will be fully respected. And for us, development of ties with the Nepali people is of paramount importance. We know that we gain a lot of experience while developing our country, and we are willing to share it with our Nepali friends. I think that we have done quite a lot in order to establish cooperation, especially in the field of human capacity building, in a number of disciplines such as agriculture, health, early childhood development and so on. But there are certain fields that have been lagging behind, and this is especially the economic relations. There are many reasons for that. Some of them are objective, some of them are subjective, some of them can be addressed with efforts, some of them cannot, like geographical distance. So I think there's a lot to do here. I'm very much encouraged by my experience here, because to me, to be appointed to a country who has never lost its independence, despite really difficult circumstances, and as it has been said by the founder of the royal family that ruled Nepal for 240 years, Nepal is like a yam between two boulders. It's really against all odds. And I think that whatever happens here, the Nepalis should be proud of this fact, that they were able to maintain their independence. And they should trust their own judgment when it comes to solve the problems that Nepal faces. It's not easy problems, they are very complicated, but I think that you are in best position to know what is the right solution for this country. You can get assistance from the international community, and I can assure you that as a member of this international community, there's a great interest in seeing Nepal solving its own problem, and assistance will be handed to Nepali people and governments. However, the decision is in your hand, not in any other foreign force. I'm leaving Nepal with a bit of, I would say, a feeling of miss. I was hoping that I will see the constitution in time, and I was hoping to see election conducted after the constitution has been endorsed. However, this has not yet materialized, but I will certainly follow that from my head office, and I wish Nepali people and government all the best.
In the past 60 years, Israel has developed a lot, from a desert to a first world country. How did Israel achieve so much in such a short time?
60 years can be a short time when you compare it to countries that have been in existence for centuries. But for Israel, the whole experience in the Middle East didn't give us much options but to try to utilize every moment and every skill in order to develop our country. I would say that one of the major, not secret, the open secret is that creativity is very much generated by necessity. You have to do everything in order to survive, generate a lot of creativity and initiatives. In addition to that, our founders were motivated by an ideology to establish a new society. This new society was based on the idea that we have to build something new and to use all our creativities, skills. This has been done in an environment that didn't give us the luxury to make mistakes. We did mistakes, but not of a grave importance. I think that one of the major differences between Israel and Nepal in this regard is that both countries face a lot of conflicts, but while our conflicts emanate from external reasons, your conflict is internal. And that gives us one advantage over Nepal in the sense that there was a basic agreement between different parties, different views about the need to maintain strong and prosperous society. While in Nepal there's still a debate about how to achieve what to achieve. There's one common thing that I think is very important to understand in this regard, and this is that differences between parties exist everywhere. If you can contain the differences, then you will embark on the right road for solving the problems and focus on the real important issues.
Although Nepal has great potential, we have not been able to fully utilize our resource. What lessons can Nepal learn from Israel?
I would start with the prayer. I wish we had the resources you have here. I think that Nepal has certain advantages. Not only that you have resources here, like hydropower potential, but you have vast markets that are in need of this energy. So it's just a question of managing it properly. There are certain factors that served as a hindrance to this process. The internal war here that I think made a lot of damage to the infrastructure and to any investment in this field. But I think that now when you embark on a new road, when despite the differences, the idea is that return to the days of war is unacceptable to the lion's share of society and political leaders. The biggest hindrance has been removed. Nepal has a potential not only when it comes to natural resources. I think the most important resource that you have is the human resource. If you speak about tourism, it's not only the beauty of the Himalayas, it's also the hospitality of the people of Nepal, the diversity here, the incredible degree of tolerance between religion and beliefs, and all that, I think, can serve to develop a society. If we could do with less than that in Israel, I'm sure that Nepali people can do it with their own skills. And another important factor that I think should be of importance here is the openness to learn from others. The whole idea of cooperation is based that we can offer our experience and our creativity, but you are in the best position to know how it suits your own specific condition prevailing here in Nepal. For this cooperation, I think, open mind from your side, willingness from our side to share our knowledge can lead to development of Nepal.
My question for you is, what are your views on the Middle East conflict and the negative impacts that it has caused on the youths?
Conflict as such has, I think, mostly negative impacts. Although it forces the society to be creative and to unite ranks against an enemy, the price is too high. Conflict means that it is a terrible failure of political means. I was grown up in Israel in time of conflict. When I was in your age, Israel was surrounded by countries who didn't recognize our right to exist. 3 members of my family died in wars. And I know that the death doesn't mean only end of promising lives of individuals, but it has a terrible impact on the families. Family that lost dear ones in war, and sadly also so many Nepali people understand that will never be the same. However, I know that once you grow up, it is possible to overcome the psychological barrier of hatred, mistrust that is generated by a conflict. My kids, for example, grown up in a slightly different environment. We do have peace agreements with few of our neighbors. For them, not every neighboring country is an enemy. So their perspective will be different than mine. I think the same will be valid here. You all grew up in an environment of internal conflict. Judging from your age, sadly, the lion's share of your life you spend in atmosphere of conflict. So you know the horror of that period. But at the same time, you know that a lot of conflict is not something done by God or by divine power. It's a deed of human beings, and it can be addressed only by human beings. So I think that we have to learn from own experience. We know how it is to live in conflict, and we know what is the more desired alternative. That's, I think, the only positive thing we can learn from living in this time. And I'm hoping that you, as possibly future leaders of this country, will take this lesson with you when you are in prominent positions.